Good afternoon, everyone, or good morning, depending on where you are joining us from. My name is Rachel Jacobson, and I'm the Deputy Director of the American Society of Adaptation Professionals, and I'm so honored to be with you all today for the Regional Adaptation Leadership Awards Ceremony for the Carolinas and New England regions. Personally, I'm physically located in Syracuse, New York, which is located on the ancestral lands of the Onondaga Nation. The American Society of Adaptation Professionals connects and supports climate change adaptation and climate resilience professionals to advance innovation and excellence in the field of adaptation. Here at ASAP, we believe that climate change is a real and serious danger to all sectors and systems, that adaptation resilience builds stronger, more prepared communities, ecosystems, and economies, and that equity and environmental justice must be centered in all work that adaptation professionals do. ASAP members are building essential climate resilience for communities, ecosystems, and economies across North America, and the ASAP network keeps them connected, sharing, learning, and adapting. And at ASAP, it's all about the people, and these are just a few faces of ASAP members who inspire one another every day to do critical adaptation work on the ground. The strength of the ASAP network is in our sectoral and regional diversity. ASAP members are in 48 states, 6 Canadian provinces, and 6 other countries around the globe. Our network is almost evenly split between folks working in the public sector, in for-profit companies, nonprofit organizations, and academia. And the climate change adaptation field is growing by leaps and bounds every year, and there are a ton of incredible people and organizations doing this work. So at ASAP, we're operating as an intermediary organization to bring together many disparate groups and people and unite them around shared principles, practices, and goals. And we primarily operate as a social impact network, and that means that everything we do is with, by, and for our members, and it functions on values like reciprocity, open access, something for every member, and most importantly, trust. And we're building trust to support collaboration so we can make more and better change together. We serve our members through 4 capacity building program areas, which you can see here on the screen. And the Regional Adaptation Leadership Award Program, or RALA, is a flagship activity in our Adaptation Voices program. The Regional Adaptation Leadership Award recognizes individuals who have distinguished themselves in the climate change adaptation field through exceptional work. It recognizes the fact that deliberate, proactive adaptation, preparedness, and resilience building is a change process. It's a deviation from business as usual, and it requires courage and doing things in new and different ways. And at its heart are individuals who make change happen, oftentimes with very few resources. And the 2020 RALA honorees are doing just that to successfully drive change within and outside their communities. Our 2020 RALA nominees and finalists are truly embodying the 5 RALA criteria: visioning, thinking, communicating, doing, and learning. The RALA program was designed by ASAP members in 2016, and we've run the competition every other year in even years since then. In addition to New England and the Carolinas, the regions that are part of today's celebration, we've also awarded the RALA in California and the Great Lakes region. Since 2016, we've had 44 individuals nominated by their peers for this award, and we've had 60 volunteers participate in regional selection committees to choose our honorees. And here you can see the 2016 and 2018 RALA winners and honorees: Andy Gunther, Tiffany Wise West, Nicola Hedge, Sherry Godlewski, Maya Goldwasser Mansfield, Grover Fugate, Holly White, Stephen Frank, John Fear, Chris Swanston, Matt Gray, Jessica Hellman, Heather Sturrett, and Larry Green. The RALA doesn't just celebrate and recognize leaders, it also catalyzes those leaders to participate in the ASAP network. For example, Chris Swanston, our 2018 Great Lakes RALA winner, who went on to become one of the architects of the ASAP Knowledge and Competencies Framework for Climate Adaptation and Climate Resilience Professionals, and Tiffany Wise-West and Andy Gunther, who both became mentors in our ASAP mentorship program. And you can see pictured here Andy and his mentee, Kimberly Duong, and a quote about their time together in that program. Before we move into our celebration of this year's RALA honorees, definitely the most exciting part of this ceremony, we have some thank yous to give out. First, I want to thank our regional partners who helped advertise the award, recruit selection committee members, and I think it's really important to note that normally we would give out this award at the Regional Adaptation Forum for their respective region. So that would be the Carolinas Climate Resilience Conference and the Local Solutions Eastern Climate Preparedness Conference. And these partners, Carolinas Integrated Sciences and Assessments, and I specifically want to recognize Amanda Ferris, who's here today, and then the hosts of the Local Solutions Conference, Antioch University of New England, NOAA, and the Island Institute. These partners worked with us to modify our approach in light of event cancellations due to the pandemic, and we're so grateful for their support, flexibility, and dedication to ensuring that our honorees could be celebrated today. You can see here listed on the screen our selection committee members from the Carolinas. Thank you so much to each and every one of you. Frank Alshmere, Produce Cochran, Rick DeVoe, Jory Fleming, Dana Hain, Kelly Larkins, Tancred Miller, Sandra Rain, Anna Catherine Schwab, and Rebecca Ward. Our selection committee members from New England, Leo Backinger, Sam Belknap, John Bolduc, Allison Branco, Madeline Charney, Annie Cox, Ned Gardner, Robert Hart, Deanna Moran, and Abby Abrash-Walton. And finally, our nominators. Without nominators taking the initiative to recognize their peers for this award, this year's program, or any year's program, would not exist. So thank you so much to our nominators, Marissa Weiss, Scott Jackson, Bridget McDonald, Pete Wiley, Jennifer McCann, Patrick Heron, Emily Sullivan, Leah Bamberger, Adam Stein, Marlena Byrne, Kwame Shah, and Gwendolyn Guidel. And now I am so excited for you to meet, learn about, and be inspired by the incredible 2020 Regional Adaptation Leadership Award finalists from New England and the Carolinas.
As I undertake my climate adaptation work, there are a few themes to the vision I'm working to bring about. First, I believe that successful climate adaptation hinges on cross-sectoral collaboration and coordination, bringing in a variety of perspectives to avoid maladaptation. We also just don't have the time to reinvent the wheel with every new initiative, and so we have to come together as a community of practice to share lessons learned and build on each other's work if we're going to have any hope of responding and transforming quickly enough. That's why so much of my work is focused on encouraging peer knowledge exchange among adaptation practitioners, and luckily there are now many opportunities to engage with fellow practitioners through networks and collaborative groups, and I spend a lot of time trying to foster such groups.
Hi, I'm Pam Rubinoff of URI's Coastal Resources Center in Rhode Island Sea Grant. I like to hope that the people that I'm working with, the planning board members, the municipal officials, the neighbors in Common Fence Point, are really learning some of the different resources that are available to them. It's not only me bringing my knowledge, but they're able to then understand why the seas rise, what it is doing to their community, and so that they then could make some of those decisions for themselves.
So when I think about my vision for this work, it's really similar, as I was going over it in my mind, very similar to the vision of the NERS, the National Estuarine research reserve system for which I work. And the vision is resilient estuaries and coastal watersheds where human and natural communities thrive. And I thought, yeah, that's it. I'm definitely working for the right system, organization. And it's really, that's what I hope for, that both natural systems and the people who depend on all of the benefits that these special places provide, social, economic, environmental, that they're protected.
First of all, let me say how honored I am to be nominated for this award. My name is Julie Wormser. I co-founded a voluntary regional collaborative among 20 cities and towns in the Mystic River watershed along the north side of Boston Harbor in Massachusetts. We call ourselves the Regional Mystic Collaborative, and as we all know, extreme weather like drought or storms or sea level rise has no time for political boundaries. And so we work together on those on-the-ground projects that help people in communities that no one city or town could do ourselves.
Hello, my name is Albert George, and I have the pleasure of serving as the first Director of Conservation here at the South Carolina Aquarium. We had the honor of starting the Resilience Initiative of Coastal Education, which spells RICE, 5 years ago. And the simple vision behind the Resilience Initiative of Coastal Education, or RICE, was how do we reach all communities with the needed information for them to be more climate resilient as it relates to both sea level rise and climate change. And so within that frame of reference of the Resilience Initiative of Coastal Education, or RICE, our endeavor has been how do we connect with all people, and not just people from Charleston, but people also from the rural South Carolina communities, which in many cases are challenged more than probably many of the urban related communities.
Currently, as the chair of the City of Columbia's Climate Protection Action Committee, I am leading a team to develop a roadmap for climate adaptation in the city. This means anything from energy generation to urban planning and zoning. We're also trying to figure out funding mechanisms for making all this work happen. Is this where I thought I would be today? No, I'm trained as a geochemist. When I step back and think about who is being impacted by this climate adaptation work, it is really the citizens of Columbia. We're helping develop a plan that will help improve the quality of their lives, but it's also the people I engage with at the universities.
First and foremost, the people that are impacted by our climate adaptation work is our state agency workers. We are in charge of so many programs and assets and services that when you look at it, we are working on a variety of environmental infrastructure, natural systems related projects, and funds that are distributed at the state, from the state level to local level.
We've had to learn to adapt over many, many generations. From the 1500s forwards, we have been adapting on these sea islands in this environment. We have been adapting to all the new changes that have caused disruption, but we've also been adapting to bring back aspects of our culture. So as Queen Quet, chiefess and head of state for the Gullah Geechee Nation, and the founder of the Gullah Geechee Sea Island Coalition, I have been living resilience, living adaptation by continuing to do different examples of work here, like making sure that we rebuild our shoreline naturally, organically, with oyster shells, the way my ancestors did.
So those are our finalists, and we are so glad to be able to honor them today. However, only 2 people, one from each region, will receive the highest honor of being our RALA Grand Prize winner. And that prize is a year of complimentary ASAP membership travel assistance to the 2022 National Adaptation Forum in Atlanta, Georgia, and complimentary registration to their respective regional adaptation forum. And now I'm going to turn it over to ASAP Executive Director Beth Gibbons, who will announce those winners.
Thank you so much. Let me begin by sharing first that the winner of our 2020 New England RALA didn't receive one nomination, but she received two. And rightfully, as this person has accomplished so much work and has worked with so many people over the course of her career. The words that I'll use here are from the nominations and from the selection committee. And they've told us how she's skilled in seeing how different pieces and people fit together and helping each person and issue be recognized for their importance in the larger whole. Her vision is committed to a regional and cross-scale effort on the watershed level, and there's a history of working diligently, including with industry, corporations, underserved populations, envisioning processes, and not just focusing on municipal officials and academic experts. Since 2010, she's played a critical role in promoting forward thinking on climate impacts and the importance of climate preparedness in Boston. In 2013, as executive director of the Boston Harbor Association, she was the lead author on preparing for the rising tide. And in 2014, she launched the Boston Living with Water competition. Since 2018, she's organized the Resilient Mystic River Collaborative to address climate impacts that stretch across municipal boundaries to all Mystic River watershed communities. She can talk the talk and she can walk the walk, and among her contributions have been successfully fundraising over $2.3 million since 2018. Among her successes, she also is focused on reflection and learning on racial equity and inclusion. She's pursued numerous training opportunities on privilege and equity, and through these efforts learned and adapted to making her workplace and her demeanor more intentionally equitable. She's taken to heart feedback and is open to being corrected when blind spots are seen. She has been a bugler sounding the alarm for hard-won knowledge, curiosity, and yet she gives regular deference to those who she thinks knows more in an area. And over the course of her career, she has played the role of mentor to dozens of early career colleagues. I love giving these out. Just being present with Julie and witnessing the way she listens actively, reflects back, and carefully considers the nuances of a situation is a learning experience in and of itself. The winner for the 2020 Regional Adaptation Leadership Award for New England is Julie Wormser.
Woo! Woo! Yay!
And Julie?
Thank you. I didn't know if I should say anything. I was listening to that with, again, very honored to be recognized for this incredible work that we're all a part of. And as I think of our work, my hope is that because this is a job that requires us all to work together, that it will help heal our divisions. Because we truly are all in it together. I would be paralyzed with sorrow if I did not work on climate adaptation, and the hope I get from people coming up with creative solutions that make their communities safer and more beautiful is what keeps me going. So thank you very much, ASAP. I'm deeply touched.
Thank you so much, Julie. And now, okay, I held it together pretty well through the first one. So, our Carolina's RALA winner. She embodies what it means to be thinking about and enacting resilience, from working within her community to engaging with surrounding communities to bridge communication channels, build relationships, to speaking with elected officials at national and international conferences to shine a light on coastal adaptation and resilience. She's able to reach beyond her community with lots of energy and passion. She has an ability to make her community relevant, helping global leaders and listeners to understand what adaptation means to her and in her community. She is an activist and a mobilizer. People know who she is. And she's doing this work without the backing of an org or an institution to fund travel and work. She does this work by herself, with her family, and for her people. You will never forget her. She's teaching us how her people adapt versus trying to mimic other strategies for her people. So resourceful. It is amazing what she's able to do and what she's able to get away with. She can speak freely from her heart since she's not speaking for an organization. She formed the Gullah Geechee Sustainability Think Tank almost a decade ago to engage an interdisciplinary group that would collaborate on adaptation in and sustainability of the Sea Islands. And she's worked with this group of scientists, policymakers, activists, and academics to have successfully worked to build preparedness, resilience, and adaptive capacity among the Gullah Geechee population, using traditional knowledge and cultural techniques as methods to engage the community in ways that they would be better stewards of their own environment as the climate continues to change has resulted in more community engagement and a better understanding of what adaptation means to the Gullah Geechees. When the opportunity presents itself, she is ready to speak to whomever needs to hear her message. Queen Quet is in constant motion. Her passion and commitment are strong. She's an effective advocate, a teacher, a mentor, a convener. Her message is consistent and compelling. And I'm so pleased that the winner of our 2020 Carolinas Adaptation Leadership Award is to Chiefess of the Gullah Geechee Nation, founder of the Gullah Geechee Sea Island Coalition, Queen Quet.
Thank you. This your blessing for true. In the midst of all of this, yeah. Brother Albert, this for both of we, yeah. And things like that, because I tell him I was hurt when I see both of we've been on the list. I said, one should have been here this year and one next year, but next year maybe your turn, brother, but we shouting together, we beating the drum together today. Thank you to all 100 children with ESAP. Thank you for Kwame for the nomination and things like that. And thank you to all 100 children at the National Adaptation Forum and all the people that I just love and embrace that involve themselves, engage themselves in defining what adaptation is, but more than that, thank you to all the indigenous communities, the coastal communities, the Black communities that live what adaptation and resilience actually is. And so this award is not just for me, it's for the entire Gullah Geechee Nation. It's for my ancestors, it's for my mother, it's for my siblings, my cousins, and everyone who's celebrating this, that now people yet what we just said when we the correct we teach, so that we get this opportunity that people will really hear us whenever we speak, where before they tried to silence our voices and stop us from speaking our language, and we adapted to be able to code switch, and now we're adapting to stay here. As we always say, we the Binya and we in the Guina way tall, and that's because all of you are there passionately helping us to help the world realize we got to do something about climate change ASAP, okay? Take action right now today, and y'all have taken an action that's truly a blessing to me. Thank you.
So what gives me hope? Hope is spiritual food. It's as important as the air we breathe. Every once in a while, I'll have a week where I lose hope, and it's absolutely devastating. The African-American scholar Cornel West makes the distinction between hope and optimism. He said that optimism means that there's enough evidence that says if we keep doing what we're doing, things will get better. Hope is the courage to act when doubt is warranted. And I would say that what gives me hope is not as important to you as what gives you hope. Hold on to that as if your life depends on it, because it does.
In this day and age where the climate is changing, I'm continuing to try to change the atmosphere to get others to see why it's so important that we protect the environment. The more that we nurture Mother Earth, the more she will nurture us. And so I'm always inspired to work with other champions that are working on these issues so that we can all be resilient together. And so can our waterways, and so can the creatures inside. And may those be the new bridges that we build naturally, organically, and in a healthy manner. Yeah, God done trouble in water, but we can get into some good trouble together. Peace, everybody.
Okay, thank you so much for joining us. Congratulations, really, truly congratulations to all of our finalists, and a special congratulations to our winners. Thank you so much for all the work that you're doing, that we know you'll continue to do.